Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So I am trying to download our presentation on reverse mortgages. And of course, my computer is telling me it won't download. Um, I'm super excited to talk about this. I have my reverse mortgage guy, Mike England, here, just to make sure I don't say the wrong thing. Um, I have listed quite a few properties with reverse mortgages, and I always go to Mike because what is the first thing that brokers check when they're getting ready to list a property?
The loan balance.
And y'all, you freak out when you check her mortgage loan balance. But here's my presentation. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Here we go. So, reverse mortgages, how it affects listings. So, first off, for those of you who don't know what a reverse mortgage is, it is a loan available to homeowners age 62 or over that allows them to convert part of their equity into their home into cash without having to sell it or make monthly mortgage payments. So, there's different types of reverses. There are home equity conversion mortgage, which is the HECM, which is what I think the most common type of reverse and what I've done with Mike. I hope we get into some more exciting stuff because I love reverses. I like to talk about them. A lot of people have misconceptions about reverse mortgages. Number two is a private loan that's not insured by the federal government. And number three is a single purpose reverse. Those are much more rare, right? So how a reverse mortgage works is homeowners must be 62 or over, must own their home outright or have a low mortgage balance that can be paid off at closing with proceeds. The home must be the borrower's primary residence. The cool thing, there are no monthly payments required on a reverse mortgage. Loan is repaid when the borrower sells the homes, moves out permanently, or passes away. The amount borrowed depends on the home's value, the borrower's age, and the current interest rates. Now, how reverse mortgages affect listings. This is what today is about, right? Title and ownership, the homeowner retains title to the property. The reverse mortgage becomes a lien against the property. When you pull title, the amount there is not the payoff amount. Like, I just cannot stress that enough. It is not the payoff amount. I remember the first time, and Mike, do you remember? I called you just in a panic, like, oh my God, the house is not worth anything close to this, and it's got this payoff, and I don't know what I'm going to do. And Mike's like, calm down. Record a higher lien amount than what is actually owed. So properties with reverse mortgages. Now, reverse mortgages, are they assumable, Mike?
They are not assumable. No, you got to pay them off. When the last living borrower leaves the home must be paid off, sold, or refinanced.
Oh. So some buyers may have concerns about doing the reverse mortgage payoffs during the transaction because, again, the lien on title shows a large amount, right? You need to price the listing for the amount more than the amount owed on the reverse mortgage. Now, here's the really cool thing that Mike walked me through. Like, if you don't have a Mike, find yourself a Mike. He's been in the business over 30 years. He knows like everything about reverse mortgages, and I will call just panicking, and he's so mellow and just like, oh no, if you have to do a short sale on a reverse, it's an FHA insured product. This is like the easiest short sale you'll ever do. And it is. I have done a short sale on a reverse, and it was like a month and approved. It was crazy. So yes, you need to price it if you're just doing a regular sale. to sell, but a reverse short sale is one of the easiest things you'll ever do. Challenges in selling homes with reverse mortgages. The reverse mortgage has to be paid in full. If the market value exceeds or doesn't exceed the loan balance, again, I said it's really easy. It's a short sale. The guaranteed short sale is 95% of the appraised value if the appraisal is done by an FHA appraiser at the time of the loan being called due. So if you get a low appraisal and you're doing a short on a reverse, it's super easy. You usually have 12 months to get the loan paid, correct, Mike?
Yeah, so you get 6 months with 2 extensions on it. And I just want to say, Lori, that if you are in a position where you've got a potential listing for it, you definitely want to do what I've seen Lori do, which is make sure you get your own comps to take to the appraiser to get as low of an appraisal as possible.
Mike. So those of you...
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Well, some of them, but not all of them. If you were in business during 2008 to 2012, you know how to do a short sale. When the appraiser gets called out, you make their job real easy. You show up. You never have a lockbox on the property. You always want to talk to the appraiser and really explain all of the deficiencies that are going to cause the value to go down. I always bring my own comps. Back in about 2010, I used to have this sheet filled out because they were doing BPOs rather than full appraisals. And I would have their BPO sheet filled out for that lender because I had all the lender's BPO sheets. And I'd show up and these people are like, yeah, $50, give it to me. And they would send in exactly what I had already done. You just really want to make their job easy and make it explainable to them why the value is where it is. Now, specializing in properties in reverse mortgage can put you in an expert in this niche area because there aren't a lot of people who are willing to do listings or reverse purchases, which reverse purchase is like the coolest thing, guys. But this is about listings, so we won't get into that today. But we will get into that. Mike, I don't know if you saw my email, but we're actually doing a webinar completely about reverse listings and purchase in about, I think it's 2.5 weeks. And it's just going to be like an hour. It'll be via Zoom. Everything will be fine. I love how I spring something on him.
I'll block it out.
Guys, he's just like, okay, sounds good, Lori. So I am doing a full webinar because when I was preparing this, I realized there's just way too much information for a morning huddle. So I wanted to create a webinar and invite anyone that wants to come to see what reverses are all about. You know, we can invite any of the people that you want to invite as well, Mike, but education role, you need to be able to educate your buyers and sellers about reverse mortgages. Just because people sometimes have a complete freak out. One of the things I do is I call them retirement mortgages versus reverse, because there was such a negative connotation about banks taking homes from old ladies and all this stuff. So you always want to collaborate and work closely with your reverse mortgage lender. Mike and I literally talk every single day. We don't do only reverses. We do regular purchases and sales and all that stuff. But I talk to Mike every day because I always want to make sure if something's happening, I know about it. So, best practices when listing homes with reverse mortgages. Verify the loan balance with the lender. Now, you have to get a third-party authorization to do that, or have escrow do that, or have... Usually when you're selling a reverse, the owner has passed away, right? I don't know how to say that in a nice way, but that's usually what you're dealing with. So you need the power of attorney. If they went into assisted living, they're going to have a power of attorney. If they passed away, there's going to be an executor or executrix, and you're going to have them get you that loan balance to make sure that all the documents are in order. So, accurate pricing. You really want to make sure you sell this within the time frame that's allotted. Yes, you can get the extensions, but the 6-month cutoff, you want to price these to sell. You don't want to sit on them and be going a year. You want to make sure that you tell any potential buyers or agents early in the process if they're close on balances, right? If you are like we cannot extend closing because we basically have like no money coming out of the transaction, you may want to disclose that to them. Consult a CPA as there's a potential write-off for accrued interest for the estate or the purchaser. Very cool. So we will do a question and answer period, but I wanted to go down. So we talk all the time about my listings and what ones you could do a reverse on, right, Mike? I mean, flyers with reverse mortgage terms and all of that stuff on there. It's a huge marketing product because, like Brittany Drive, most people don't have 2.25 million sitting around. Now, with a reverse, what's the max loan amount for a reverse?
$1,149,000 is the maximum value on a FHA reverse, but we can go up to $4 million on the proprietary one that you mentioned earlier. So, there's opportunities there for a payment-free loan up to that 2.25 there.
So, your lovely client, they're, let's just say 70, and they're living in a house that's paid off. Their house is a total train wreck. They don't have the cash to fix it up, and they're living in basic squalor. Happens all the time, right? To people that are older, that either their spouse passed away, there's something happening where they don't have the funds. They can get a reverse, move into something that's their dream home, right? With a reverse purchase. I mean, we did it for Berna. She moved to a waterfront home, and her husband was in assisted living. And so she's going through all of this by herself. She had no family or friends. And that is the beauty of a reverse purchase. She's going to get to live in that house until she passes away or goes to assisted living. And she's living in a much more beautiful home that she actually likes versus in this cookie cutter neighborhood. So pretty much, we talk about how reverse would work on every single one of my listings. Now,
especially the Ramblers, right? No stairs.
Yeah. For aging population, if they're living in I'm listing tomorrow in University Place, it had a chairlift, but we found the coolest company that will relocate chairlifts. Long story short, she hadn't been into her basement in, I think she had said 5 years, because she didn't have a chairlift. So it's got main level you walk in, lower level, basement level, and upstairs. And they just put a chairlift up to the bedrooms. So can you imagine half your house you can't use? She could have easily done a reverse purchase and gotten a Rambler or something that would work out better for her. Now, this is me and my lovely husband, who is watching the kids right now so that I can be on here. We run Epic Home Team and Epic Estate Sales and Cleanouts, because working in reverse and senior specialists, right? That is something that has been awesome to have, is an estate sale company, because, and this is Mike. Hi, Mike. He started and ran the Silver Superheroes. It is a really cool organization of CPAs, attorneys, Medicare,
Medicaid, financial planners, all the specialists you need to work with seniors.
100%.
And Lori's my favorite Silver Superhero, her and Tyler, because they've got the estate sale business, and they do a great job getting houses ready to sell so we can get people into new homes.
Like, he only says that because I'm on here.
Yeah, no.
So, with everyone, does anyone have any questions? Because it's not super often that you have a reverse mortgage specialist that is on, because a lot of times people are scared to do a reverse and they've never even heard of a reverse purchase. So I think it's pretty cool to have him here so that we can ask him any of the questions that we have. Oh, we've got people still hopping on. Usually the huddle's only like 15 minutes, so I was booking through the content. Any of the people that just popped on, did any of you guys have questions about reverse listings, about estates?
Can I throw a couple things in there because I just taught a class of CPAs, and I really love the idea that just remember, you're not making a payment ever, right? You never have to make a payment. So what that means is interest accrues. And if you're in the right position, that interest that has accrued, if you sell, when you sell it, you're going to pay all that interest, and you're going to get a 1098 for a whole bunch of interest, and might be able to offset some other expenses you want to do. So you got to take advantage of that. And that's what I was sharing with all the CPAs that I was talking to. And so there's some really good tricks. I've been teaching classes on these for over 10 years, and I teach clock hour classes on them. And sometimes Lori joins me because she's got direct experience on this stuff. But
I pop in for like 15 minutes and I'm like, oh, hi, I don't have to be here for the whole class or teach anything, but I'll tell you a story. And then I leave.
Yeah.
Great. I love that he gives me all that credit. Okay. We have a question.
Yes.
If you already have a reverse mortgage, can you sell it to buy another reverse? If the equity is there, right, Mike?
Absolutely. I've done that quite a few times. Somebody sells their house, they decide they want to live somewhere else. They've still got a bunch of equity. Then they buy another house with the reverse mortgage. Just pay off the one, and yet most people have equity left when they sell their house, when they have a reverse, because we only lend about half the money, and then the balance is going to go up because there's no, there's no payments. So if you don't, obviously the balance goes, but so does the value. So
well,
it typically goes up faster than the loan balance, so you still got equity.
90% of the reverses I've listed, that the people came out with plenty of equity, the estates did. One paid for her assisted living by selling. That was the manufactured home in the 55 over community. She was able to cover all of her assisted living costs due to selling the house. So that, if you don't know, assisted living is between $8,000 and $12,000 a month. And that's seen higher, but that's kind of the norm. So if you're able to pay that for a few years, you're coming out with some money. That's one of the reasons we have a Medicaid attorney in the Silver Superheroes, is so people don't use up all their equity, their, everything to pay for that. Yeah. So the reverse purchase is awesome, and you can sell a house with a reverse and buy another one with a reverse purchase. That was a great question, Marlene. Thank you. Any other questions? Like, I need like game show music, like that waiting period. The Price is Right had great music, like when they were writing their answers down. Aged myself there. I'm not quite yet at senior, but getting there. Getting there rapidly. Awesome, guys. Mike, thank you so much for taking time out of your week to join. And if you guys have any questions or you want to join the webinar that we're going to be doing, please just shoot me an email at Lori, Lori, at the Epic, and there's 2 E's in a row there, theepichometeam.com. Happy to have you guys join us. It's going to be awesome. We're going to talk, just get into the down and dirty of reverse, but it'll probably only be about 35 minutes to an hour, depending on questions and how many people. My NAR webinar I just did on August 17th, I thought was going to be 25 minutes, and about 55 minutes into it, I'm like, yeah, this is going a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So you never know. Can be quick and smooth, and sometimes it can be a little longer. Oh, of course, Letitia. Thank you for coming. All right, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. Get out there, make some calls, and we'll be seeing you later. Thank you so, so much for being here. Have a good one.
Lori.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.